Hello everyone, welcome back to Naomi's Bookshelf, or welcome here if this is your first video from me. I will be doing my TBR for April, which is the Owls Readathon, which is hosted by G from Book Roast. I am going to talk for a quick itty bitty minute about COVID-19. I feel like I should address it in some way. I want to say, first of all, that my family is healthy. We are all working still. I am not done work. The daycare that I'm working at, the government of BC has currently decided we are not closing as of filming this. Now, my other content was pre-filmed, so I don't have anything about COVID-19 in there. So I just wanted to announce it here. If you want to reach out to someone, reach out to me. I have my Instagram is public, so if you want to DM me there, if you want to leave a comment down below, totally go for it. It's something where we all need to band together right now and work together and make booktube, I think, a happy distraction or something to focus on in this difficult time. I am a believer, I am a Christian, so I do believe that God is in control, which is giving me a peace right now in spite of the nerves that are trying to push its way up to the top. So if you want to talk about that as well, please let me know. I would be happy to talk to you. So we're going to just jump straight into the owls now. I have chosen to go with the care of magical children. It is much like foster care or daycare, which is something I do for a living, so I thought it'd be fun. And I really want to just give a shout out to G. She put a lot of effort into these, and you can tell the more difficult the career based on the amount of newts or owls you need to get. And for care of magical children, you need 8 owls. That's a lot. I'm gonna do it, but I just really appreciate that she put so much effort and work into being a care of magical children, because being an ECE is hard and so many people think we're just babysitting, and we're not. It's so much more work, and we have so much more schooling and techniques that we use. If you have never worked with children, it's a hard job and I love it, but it's not easy. And so for her to validate it in this little small way by making it a difficult career to go for, I really appreciate it. Thank you, G. So now let's get into the readathon prompts and books. Now, before I really go into the owls, prompts and books, I'm going to be also reading books for the TBR Clear Out, hosted by Katie from Books and Things, and I am really excited. That basically is about reading books that have been here on your shelves for a long time and you aren't massively interested in them anymore, but you want to give them a shot before you get rid of them. So that's a lot of these books. So the first book I'm going to be reading is for Arrhythmia, which is a balance of two, which is like opposites versus your favorites kind of thing. So it's to avoid your favorite genre. And my favorite genre is mysteries or thrillers, so I'm going to go with another genre I really enjoy, but it's not my favorite, is historical romance. I think this is also a Christian historical romance, and this is The Measure of Katie Calloway by Serena Miller. I don't know anything about this one. It's been on my shelf for too long. It takes place just after the Civil War, and it's a romance. That's all I know about it, and I want to get it off my shelves, seeing as we're moving too. I'd like to not bring as many books if possible with me. So this is one that I'm not sure if I'm going to keep after, but I want to read to make sure I don't get rid of it too hastily. So the next prompt that I need to fulfill is Charms, which is the Lumos Maxima. And that prompt is to read a book with a white cover. And so I'm going to go with Deja Dead by Kathy Reich. Now this one, I have read a couple now in her series, her Temperance Brennan series. And this is the very first book that she published, I believe. It is the first book, at least in that series. So I'm excited to pick it up, and it definitely has a white cover. I don't know anything about this. It just follows Temperance Brennan. Now, if you don't know, this series is the inspiration of the TV show Bones. So that's kind of why I'm really interested to pick up this book, since I really loved the movie series or the TV series, and I have enjoyed the other 2 books that I've read of hers. Actually, I think I've read 3 and I've enjoyed them all. So I am excited to pick up this one too. And I have owned it for a little while now. So the next book that I need to read is for herbology, and I'm going to read it aloud. It's Mimbulus Mumbletonia? I don't know. And it's a plant, and this prompt is to read a book that starts with the letter M. I am going with one of the books that I really want to have read this year, and that is Mary B. by Catherine J. Chen. I have heard not so great things about this one. And it's my only book on this list of books that I want to read in 2020 that starts with M. And it's a shorter one, and it's one that I've had for far too long without getting rid of, so it's perfect time for the TBR Clear Out and for The Owls. So this one is a retelling of Pride and Prejudice about Mary's perspective, and I always want to find a good Mary perspective Pride and Prejudice retelling. So that is my M title prompt. The next one that I need to fulfill is History of Magic. Now, for History of Magic, it is about the witch hunts. All of these prompts refer to Harry's third year at school. So the witch hunts is something he has to write a paper about, and the prompt for this is to read a book about a witch or wizard. Now, I typically do not plan in advance my Shakespeare read of the month because I just want to pick up whatever feels most likely I'll like at the time. But I have chosen in advance The Tempest this month as it is about a wizard from all of my Google research. I have read a summary of it before, but it has been a long time and I have never read the play. So I'll be reading The Tempest, more like listening to it / watching it. We'll figure it out. But I tend to also watch the Shakespeare plays. I don't technically read them typically. I also do read a bit along. But yeah, so I will be reading The Tempest for this one as it will be my Shakespeare play of the month and it fits perfectly for a wizard in a story. The next prompt is for Muggle Studies, which is to read a book that is from the perspective of a Muggle, so contemporary. I'm gonna go with one that I bought, I don't know, 2 years ago. Have yet to read. It's short and I am interested still. And that's called The Betrayers by David Besmogis. I really should have practiced that one first. But this is a Canadian author. It is the winner, it is a finalist for the Scotiabank Giller Prize. Clearly I was well researched on this. I think it follows a man who is wronged by these like crime bosses kind of thing, or he wrongs them. And so something about them like are betraying each other. It's very short, like just over 200 pages, so it doesn't count for the next or for the final prompt. Maybe not final. Anyways, but I'm excited to finally pick it up. I have been holding on to it and looking at it, but I haven't found the time to read it, so this is a good push to finally read it, get it off my shelves, or put it on my favorites shelf. So the next one that I need to be a Care of Magical Children worker is Potions, which is the shrinking solution. So to read a book that's under 150 pages, which that one is just a bit too big. However, I am currently working my way through the Little House on the Prairie series. I finished these Happy Golden Years in March, and I am excited to continue and read the final book, which is, I think is about 125 pages, called The First 4 Years by Laura Ingalls Wilder, obviously. So this one follows Mary and Almanzo as they are married, their first 4 years of marriage, and all the hardships. It is a very difficult time for them. I remember that much, and I don't remember much else, but I am excited to continue in this series. I do want to read more, and I am excited to finally have wrapped up this project that's been going on for a long time. So yeah, I'll be picking up that one via audio as I do not own it. So the next prompt that I need is Transfiguration, which I think is the hardest prompt for me to figure out a book for. So I have gone with a tried and true one, and the prompt for this one is about the Imagus lecture or Animagus lecture that Professor McGonagall gives to her students, and it is about finding a book that has about a shapeshifter. I don't really know many books that I could pick. I tried figuring out if Wizard of the Oz, like my next book I need to read, has one. I don't think it does. So I'm gonna go with Harry Potter, which, I mean, it's the Harry Potter readathon, so why not? But I'm not reading, as you can tell, I'm not reading Prisoner of Azkaban, which is this one's theme. I'm reading Goblet of Fire, because I'm currently reading Prisoner of Azkaban this month. So this is a bit of a chunkier one, but I am excited to pick up this and continue on in the series. I am almost halfway, and this will be the halfway mark as this is book 4. So yeah, this one will be my shapeshifter book, as I can't think of many others that I would like to read. I was gonna pick up Alice in Wonderland, but I don't think I need to reread it now. So I'm gonna pick up this one, and hopefully if I don't get through this one, I'll pick up Alice in Wonderland. So that is the end of the ones I am required to read for this challenge for my career choice. However, there are 4 more books that I would like to get to, as I'd like to round out the whole thing. So I'm gonna like to finish them all. I'm kind of an overachiever in some ways. So So the first prompt that is of the 4 remaining is Ancient Runes. So it's about the heart rune. So what's a book that has the heart on the cover or in the title? And there's one book on my shelves, one book that I own that has heart, and I have not read it. Maybe there's a second one, but this is the only one I have not read, and I'm like, well, I've been holding on to it for a while. It's perfect for both. So it's The Heart's Pursuit by Robin Lee Hatcher. I don't know anything about this one. I just know it has heart in the title, and I've been holding on to this book for probably 2-3 years, and I should have gotten rid of it by this point. So I'm going to read this one. Like I said, know nothing. It sounds like it's a cowboy romance, Christian cowboy romance. So, yep. That's my heart pick. For astronomy, it's about the night classes that they take. So we're required to mostly read a book all at night, or we can read most of it at night. So you can read part of it outside the night, but I'm going to go with a book that I think I'll fly through. And I want to read something sappy, something happy, something that won't keep me up at night in a bad way. And so I'm going to pick up The Highland Call, or A Highland Call by Sharon Gillenwater. This is the second book in the duology from the Highland Legacy, which I love, and that's one of my favorite books of all time. And I am excited to pick up this one. I've also owned this one for far too long, and I need to get to it. There's a theme here. I'm glad they matched up with the readathons. So the next prompt is for Care of Magical Creatures, which is to read a book that has a beak on it, as hippogriffs are the prompt of the year. So I have looked through my shelves and I found a few options, but one that I have owned literally forever. I do not remember when I acquired it, but I've carried this book across country. I have transported it many times and I have never read it. It's Swiss Family Robinson. So this is by Johann Wyss, I believe. And if you can see, there's a ostrich, emu, I don't know, and a bunch of animals, and there's another one there, maybe a flamingo. It's a really interesting colored book. It's a really old one, and it's a children's classic, so I feel like I should have read it by now. But I am working my way through this little 4-book pack that I have been carrying around my way through. I have read Heidi, and I am going to pick up this one finally. So I have watched the movie from like the 60s, I think I want to say it was from the 60s, of this family that's marooned on an island, and their setup of houses and the way they survive and their farms and all these things. And at least in the movie, there's like an attack from pirates, I want to call them. But yeah, so I'm excited to pick this one up, and I might try finding an audio copy of it too. I actually realized I have an extra book on my stack that I forgot to mention, as I do read and require Defense Against the Dark Arts, which is for Grindylows, and that prompt is to read books set at sea or by the coast. I was going to fit another one in this prompt, and I realized it doesn't fit. If it does, let me know, and I'll count it as that. Otherwise, I'm going to be picking up, I think this is book 7 in the the Fox and O'Hare series, which is by Janet Ivanovich, and this one is co-written by Peter Ivanovich. Now, this one is The Big Kahuna, so it takes place in Hawaii, and it follows Kate O'Hare and Nicholas Fox. And like I said, every video I've ever showed up a series of books from the series, I can't tell you anything. I love them. Flying through them. So the next prompt and the final prompt is to read a book that you have randomly picked. So you're supposed to use your third eye, pick a stack of books, and then randomly pick a number. So I have picked my Agatha Christie books, 3 of them to pick from. I have picked Towards Zero. This will be counting as book number 1 for a random number generator. Next one is Evil Under the Sun, which will be book number 2. And Murder in the Mews, which will be book number 3. So I don't know much about these. I think this one is an independent murder mystery, so no previously detectives known. This one is a Poirot, Evil Under the Sun, and Murder in the Mews is a Poirot short story collection, kind of. So yeah, we're going to do these. I'm going to use a random number generator right now, and we will see what it is. Out of 3, it is number 2. It will be Evil Under the Sun. I will show you a little screenshot right here of it, of the number. So this one is going to be my Agatha Christie book of the month. I don't know anything about Agatha Christie books when I walk in. This one is about it on a beach. This could have counted for At the Sea as well. Oh well, I'm gonna enjoy the big kahuna. So, yeah, so this one is Evil Under the Sun. Looks like it's about a vacation to the beach or whatever, and it's a Hercule Poirot. I'll be reading this one in April for my divination prompt. So of all of those books, I still have 2 more books to add, which I was really unfortunately not able to fit into any of these prompts. The first of which is my timeless tome. I read a big classic a month or every 2 months and post a video about it. So for this coming month in April, my video is going to be about North and South. I have not started it. I'm excited to pick it up, but I could not fit it into anything. If this fits for the seaside, please let me know, because I would love to know. I thought it took place at sea, but then I'm reading the back and nothing about the sea. So let me know. I've watched the TV miniseries of it, but I have never read the book, and I'm excited to read another Elizabeth Gaskell. So this one is like Pride and Prejudice that takes place in the Victorian era. It follows, I can't even remember their names, Margaret Hale and John Thornton, John Thornton, as he is a mill owner and she is the daughter of a pastor. They moved to a northern town, she moves to northern town, and he's there, and there is a love-hate relationship, mostly hate relationship for most of the book, I believe. So yeah, that one is automatically on the TBR as well. And then on top of that, I'm going to be reading Rose in Bloom by Louisa May Alcott for the Louisa May 2020 read-along. That one is the continuation to 8 Cousins, which was really fun to read so far in March. I really enjoyed it, and I'm excited to pick up Rose in Bloom as well. I do not own a copy though, so I probably will find a free e-copy to read, since I don't necessarily want to go out and buy a copy unless I can find it in the editions I already own. So those are all of the books I'll be reading for the Owls Readathon, along with 2 bonus books. Please let me know down below in the comments if you are reading books for the Owls as well. You don't have to be a Harry Potter fan to do it, but you can be. I really do recommend having a lot of fun with this. I will link down below Katie's TBR clear out video along with G's announcement video, because they're very, very good at telling you what you need to know. So like if you've liked this video, subscribe if you would like to. I would love to hear from you down below in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Keep healthy, stay safe. Bye for now.